Shalom Israel. Coming to y'all today, just sharing a little entertainment with y'all. You know, stories in the Bible that tell about the adversities that we deal with our brother Esau. And this is going to be showing you proof that this is their kingdom, whether they taking advantage of it or acknowledging it or, you know, denying it. Regardless, we living witnesses of the entitlements and where they live and the things they prosper at, and never go through any kind of accountability. And just for the record, you know, this ain't nothing to make it seem like I'm hateful of white people or nothing. I'm pointing out the attributes, the actions, and the written understanding of them as a people. And regardless, you know, they can't deny it. The same way our people can't deny their behaviors and their attributes under the curses and their ways, following the world, behaving like heathens as we were commanded not to do. We see it, you know. You see the world star hip-hop videos and all that other such stuff, you know. We were given laws and commandments, which is the owner's manual, instructions how to behave, which is something that comes naturally to us as a people. So I'm gonna get into a little understanding and let you understand by witnessing, viewing, and confirming.
It's you liberals who've lifted them up, Howard. Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle whole people. Without hope, people become dangerous. No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs. Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart we move up. That makes it even worse. No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to him. He becomes to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Ironically, this is what these people do. Those written up, advertised there on the wall, to be accepted by Esau. That description of what they just said, that programming. This is what they must do to be accepted by Esau. And this is your finished project right here. This is your finished product. That's the product of that. The smile only a mother can love, and a guy like me can punch. So my feature today is going to be featuring those entitlements. You know, it's a shame that maybe we envy being under these curses, you know, them, and feel like that's the only way we're going to get to their had a call coming through, to get to their level of entitlements, you know, and privilege. Maybe we think if we become like them, we can be overlooked and the abuse will stop. So check this out.
Feedback, 1491. Barefoot bandit has been caught. Police in the Bahamas say the most wanted teenage fugitive in America was captured after crash landing a stolen plane on the island of Eleuthera. 19-year-old Colton Harris Moore could be facing dozens of criminal charges, including the theft of 5 airplanes.
Now this is a true story here, and I'm gonna narrate a little bit through it. I'm gonna skip through it, but I got to the most meaty of it and just observe some of the privileges of being in your kingdom.
Moore is 17 years old when he escapes from a halfway house in Renton, Washington. Free for more than 2 years. His story will become legend. His legend will become history.
Harris Moore escaped from a group home in Renton last night. Harris Moore was just 15 when he was arrested for breaking into homes, stealing valuables, and using computers to place fraudulent online orders. He was serving a 3-year sentence when he escaped. There's an all-out search for Colton Harris Moore. Dressed in camouflage and armed with rifles, at least 2 separate agencies are looking for the teenage burglar after he was spotted late last night.
Today, a heavily armed tactical team searched the area around the Elger Bay store where Harris Moore was last seen. While the 17-year-old is 6'5" and 200 pounds, he is crafty and knows the woods. For more than a year, he eluded law enforcement, playing a frustrating game of cat and mouse.
One of my sergeants came in and he says, "Hey boss, did you hear that Colton Harris Moore got out or escaped?" And I was not very happy because I knew where he was coming. He was coming back to his old stomping grounds, and all these burglaries and the whole thing was going to start up over again, which it did.
He had disabled the alarm where there was no alarm going to the police station. He took food and money, packages of hot dogs, beef jerky, potato chips, a whole rack of vitamin water. I mean, I don't know how he hauled all this stuff away.
The undersheriff tells me there's been 9 burglaries across Island County in the last 2 weeks. Now, he won't confirm that any of them are related or linked to Colton Harris Moore.
Moore is accused of breaking into dozens of homes and then disappearing into the woods of Tomato Island.
Island residents begin to notice strange charges to their credit cards from online stores, outdoor gear, bear mace, computer hacking software, GPS systems, and porn. Items they will never see. Colton is gearing up for an adventure.
Pathway, and he was building his camps in very, very thick brush where you couldn't even tell there was a trail to him. And he'd get in there and he'd stomp all of that, the area down and put like a tent in there or some type of a lean-to or just even a sleeping bag. And we'd find his camp and he'd just move to another one.
I think it might have been outside of school, because he's a couple years younger than I am. Anybody can do a burglary. Don't matter if you're the dumbest person in the world. You can get through a window or get through an open door. I was looking for cash, he was looking for credit cards and laptops. Vacation homes are actually ideal to hit because of the fact, one, nobody's there. Two, a lot of people like to leave their stuff in vacation home. Money, computers, cars. We were driving a stolen 2007 Mercedes-Benz. Every time we took it, we parked it in the garage in the same exact spot, washed the car, and filled the tank up for the people. So pretty much we went on a joyride, but we at least filled your tank and cleaned your car. No matter what, you always have to look behind you. Sleep one night, gone the next morning. Never stay in one spot. It reminded me a lot of like I was when I was younger, you know?
Value to it, just in the sheer number of burglaries that had happened. But the fact that it was a kid who was committing these crimes, I think brought it to an entirely different level.
Saturday morning, someone broke into a deputy's car, stealing a rifle, ammo, and a laptop. Then just yesterday, someone targeted a firefighter's truck and fire station. As North Bureau Chief Rob Pearson reports, people believe that someone is Colton Harris Moore.
We discovered that Colton Harris, which we like to call him the cockroach, came in our second story window. And what he did was, we've got what we call the bullpen in the back, and he climbed up the fence, climbed up the roof, and went into the window upstairs. He basically just walked into our store and started getting what he needed, and then he decided to break into our safe, which he did. And this is our remains of it, over $3,000 in our safe. He had big crowbars, and he just pounded it to death, and it really looks like he did pound it to death.
A restaurant had surveillance video. He had been there at some point, stolen a credit card, then used the credit card to buy instructional materials on how to fly a plane, had it mailed to the restaurant, then had apparently been monitoring the tracking number from FedEx or UPS, whoever it was that shipped it, broke in that night, stole his manuals. You know, the idea that you would use someone's credit card to buy something and then have it shipped to their place of business and then break into their business and steal it. You know, it's unreal.
Colton sets up camp in the mountains and immerses himself in the solitude of nature. A human shadow, an island rumor whispered over campfires. His real journey, however, is about to begin. It is the island's airport that brings him here, a chance to make a lifelong dream become a reality.
So, as I'm narrating, bring you up to speed, I'm going to be skipping through this. This teenager is going around stealing stuff, valuable stuff. And in the midst of him stealing things, he starts stealing boats and planes. Not even knowing how to fly a plane, but he orders the manuals to operate a plane on the internet, and that's what he used for teaching. And I'm bringing this up because I'm going to tell you about these entitlements. I owned a business in the suburbs of Houston, and when I moved there, started 3 businesses actually. With my wife at the time, she had a day spa, and I had a custom car business, and sold stereo stuff and everything. Well, anyway, I had this kid working for me named Steve. He was a mixed kid. His mother was black, and I think his father was white. But he knew, you know, he was from the area. So he grew up there, went to high school there and everything. And one day, some white kid comes in, you know, well, he was in his early 20s, like maybe 21, 23, and checking out the merchandise that I got in my store. You know, we sold rock, rap, skateboard apparel, t-shirts and posters, all kind of other stuff, accessories that I can keep the register open, and, you know, besides car stuff. You know, I sold CDs, rap CDs and all that, rap t-shirts, you know, Run DMC, LL Cool J, KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest, rap memorabilia. So anyway, this white kid comes in, and he's checking out the store, walking around the store, and this kid that worked for me named Steve, he was one of my stereo installers. So he was in the back, and from the back where the vehicles that you could see the front of the store where the counter is at and stuff is on display, the shirt racks and all that other such stuff. And then I had some big screen TVs in there, you know, on display that people can play PlayStation and stuff while they wait for their car to get done or whatever, you know, for entertainment. So this white kid comes in, he's walking around the store and everything. I'm just looking at him, I ain't paying him no attention. I'm on my phone or something, or the computer. And he comes over and he's asking some questions and such. It was me, my cousin Moon, he was up from Chicago, and somebody else was there, I can't remember, with me, you know, family-wise. So the dude asked if I knew where he can get some weed from. And I said to him, I said, dude, why would you come into a place of business, don't know none of us, and just ask, do we know where to get weed at? You know what I'm saying? I was like, what the hell is you on? No, I'm just saying, man, I'm just looking for some smoke. Like, why would your white ass come in here and ask? So we looking at, we giving them threatening tone and everything. Like, man, get your ass up out. I said, dude, I got all kind of stuff over there, you know, shirts and everything. You come into my store, if you ain't looking to get your car worked on or buy some of this accessory, man, don't come up in here inquiring about no weed. I said, we don't sell no weed, man. It's a place of business. So he started telling me this story, how he just got out of jail. Basically, I'm thinking it's a story he trying to show that he down and he cool and all this other stuff. Said he just got out of jail, and you know, this and that, you know. And I'm like, dude, so what are you doing to get yourself? I'm trying to therapy this moron, you know. And long story short, I thought it was just that. I'm giving this young punk some therapy, and he leaves. And the dude who worked for me named Steve come out the back, and he goes, what the hell did I just witness? And I said, well, man, I said, some young punk, man. He go, no, man. He said, do you know who that is? I said, no, what the hell are you talking about? He said, that's Wes something, Wes, his name is Wesley, but they call him Wes. And he said the last name, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, this kid was just like this story you witnessing now, he was a notorious burglar, cat burglar in this affluent neighborhood over here in the North Houston area called the Woodlands. And his daddy was a DA and his mama was an attorney or something, vice versa. He had 2 well-to-do parents, but he was a cat burglar. So he got caught. He had been doing this stuff for a couple of years. And I mean, ripping these people off, stealing jewelry that was like heirlooms and families and that. So when he finally got caught, they gave him like 30 years. So Steve remembered that because it happened when they were in high school, or when they were just came out of high school. He knew this kid. He went to school with him. So that's what he was telling me. He said, what did I just witness? I said, man, just some young punk. He was like, no. He said, do you know who that is? And I was like, no, man, what you talking? He said, that was Wes. And he said, I said, yeah, he was saying he just got out of jail. He said, no, you don't understand. He ain't supposed to be out of jail. And he started telling me the stories of what the dude had did. And I'm like, he was sent over there. You know what I'm saying? He was sent to come into my place of business to try to see if we was selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really thought we were that stupid. But I'm like I said, I'm gonna finish with this story. I'm gonna let you know that ain't the first situation I had like that in my lifetime. Dealing with them, me having something that they can't understand how I have it. Even from just driving in a nice vehicle and getting profiled. So let me carry on.
Boy, he wanted to be a pilot. Loved him.
A plane flew over and he said, I can tell you what year that was built, who built it, and what size engine it has.
It was an airplane, spread books, about him, talked about him all the time. Even had pictures of airplanes hanging up in his room, and he drew airplanes. So when he got out, he wanted to steal a plane and teach himself how to fly it. That was his whole plan.
This kid is a teenager and he got feet like Nephilim. I mean, them gotta be size 16. And they called him Barefoot Bandit because he did all his crime, even running from the police and hopping fences, barefooted.
From his mountain campsite, channeling his energy into the study of aviation. He steals and studies aircraft manuals, views thousands of online videos, and carefully watches the comings and goings of the small planes of Orcas Island. Authorities believe the plane was stolen by drug runners. For the moment, the act that will make him a legend goes unnoticed.
This is a young white kid's crime, and the first thing they do is to blame it on those who they think will be perpetuating such act, drug dealers. You know, it can never be a white suburban kid or white person at that first as being the first suspect.
Island hopping. Authorities believe Colton Harris Moore is connected to several burglaries on Orcas Island.
He went throughout the store with crowbars and opening doors, and I don't know exactly what all he used on the ATM. As the tales of his exploits grow, Colton Harris
out of 14 cameras. As he went, he was barefooted. He got almost $10,000.
Now here's where this story makes a turn for the almost ridiculous. In addition to all those burglaries, Colton Harris Moore is suspected of stealing as many as 2 airplanes. Airplanes? Where did he learn how to fly?
I remember just being sort of dumbfounded, thinking, how is that even possible?
And this is like I said, a common occurrence in our life, you know, and under these curses, you know, whether people want to understand, only us this woke understand the power of these curses. And me being a person that never knew of the curses, understood them, or even heard of them, yet my experiences, I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable, all the traps that we got out here, you know. One more story. I was living on a college campus in 94, I want to say, 94, 95. And so I had a Jaguar then, cranberry cream interior and everything. Long story short, one day this white guy, here we go. Now this college town is where people party. I wasn't in school. I was in a junior college in the neighboring town. I was there. I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing, but nobody knew what I was doing. The Jaguar wasn't even seen. I kept it in storage, out of sight, and drove another vehicle. Didn't do anything that I was not supposed to be doing in that area. So long story short, this white kid show up. Like I said, this is a college town. All they do is party, frat parties. I don't smoke weed or nothing like that, and I didn't hang out with other guys who sold dope. You know, we were just partying. It was me, my 2 brothers, my cousin, and a bunch of guys from Chicago. So, like I said, it's a lot of women in this area that we're in. These are multiple apartment complexes right next to each other. So everybody know everybody, people party. This white guy shows up at my apartment one weekend. And one of the black females said she went to school with him. She said he's cool, you know. He was adopted. He was a trust fund baby or something, had all this money. Okay, I'm not worried about it. You know, she introduced him to everybody. He starts hanging out, if not every day, every weekend, around us. And, you know, party goers. So, one day, he comes to me with like $800. He says, hey man, I'm looking to get some drugs, man. Can you give me some dope? I'm looking for, you know, a quarter or something, you know. I forgot what it was, but he gave me $800. I said, okay, I took his money. I said, I'll see what I can do. Now, mind you, my father told me, nobody gives you something for nothing. He told me that a long time ago. And even though I knew this white kid was very suspect, I took him more as being stupid than anything. Like I say, this is my days of being a heathen, so bear with me and understand my mentality at the time. I take the kid's money, and we go rent a hotel room with joining rooms with a jacuzzi, all that, and we throw a party up there. I fill one of the tubs up with alcohol, with, you know, cases of beer and you know, hard liquor. And then when you open up one of the closets, we had cases of liquor stacked to the ceiling in the closet. So he comes to the party. We over there kicking it, man. You know, I invited all my guys up from Chicago. We we was fools. So he comes and he said, hey man, was you able to get that for me? I said, hey no, but check it out. Look what we did. Look what we did with your money. So he joins the party and that's that, right? Well, he kept coming and giving me hundreds of dollars like this. I started furnishing my apartment. I bought a stereo system. You remember how you used to get the stereo system with the tape deck and the CD player and the tuner and all that, you know? And you move the tuner real fast and it zipped it all the way to... I had a nice one. Big 15-inch speakers and stuff. So every time he came and inquired about his purchase, I would show him something new that I bought. And I said, no, man, I think they... One time I told him I think somebody ran off with the money. Then, like I said, after that, I started letting them know I was purchasing furnishings with it, you know, and I'll see what I can do later. That was it. I never presented him or gave him any drugs. Well, this went on for about 3 months. One day we hear boom, 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 boom. We hearing doors getting kicked in the apartment complex. And I hear that the black female, she stays like 3 doors down, that says she knows him, that introduced him to us. I hear her screaming, just don't shoot me. So we know it's people in the building with guns. So my little brother, he goes out the window head first. We're on the 2-story, we're on the 2nd floor. He goes out the window and he lands on a sprinkler system down below, which goes through his calf. My other brother, he's so scared, he trying to hang himself in the closet on a clothes hanger to disguise himself as a scarecrow or clothing on a hanger, I don't know. And I grab a steering wheel club and I run through my apartment, knocking out the ceiling lights to keep lights from being able to, you know, be reflective in the home, in the apartment. And then I grabbed the kitchen chair and I rigged it up under the door. Well, these guys are kicking in doors. They couldn't get in my place for about 10 minutes. That rig 'em up thing under the door knob, it works. So they finally got in, and I'm standing around the corner of the kitchen, and I'm gonna club the first person to come around that corner. I'm taking his chin off. I finally hear them say, "State Police." And it was such a relief. I've never in my life felt so happy to see the police. Because I thought somebody came in there to rob us and murder us. But found out it's police. They never said police all that time they were kicking in the doors. They never presented themselves until they came into them dark quarters where they didn't know what was around the corner. That's the only time they said police. So we asked them what they were there for, and they said to seize drugs and weapons. Okay, there's nothing in here. Go to jail. Ask what I'm being held for. They charged me with robbery of state police for those 3 months that he was giving me money to buy drugs, and because I never purchased and delivered him any drugs, they said I robbed him. Long story short, I took it to court and I demanded a jury trial. I wanted 12 jurors to hear this bullshit, which they did, and they threw that out. That was entrapment. That was all levels of all kind of. And on top of that kid, he had been in jail for writing over $60,000 worth of bad checks. And my lawyer found out that he had got released on bond the week. He had a no bond for those writing bad checks, right? But he got released on an I bond a week before he came and got introduced to us. So that, and then when they checked his visitor log, it was a detective Dinges that came to visit him. So they were prepping him to come out on the streets and entrap black people. He goes from no bond to I bond with a visit from a detective and planted in our circle, you know. So yeah, this is what they do. Let's carry on. Sorry about that. Sorry I had paused that.
He was hoping that I would be with him, but I just kept making excuses, saying, "Oh, I can't."
Sorry about that, y'all.
I kept telling him I'd meet up with him somewhere else along the line. I didn't have the guts to go with them. I didn't want to, especially flying in a plane with them. I didn't trust them as far as I could throw them, so.
I was eating my lunch on that ridge over there, and I could see the white of it from that far ridge. The bushes were knocked down, so it was easy to tell that he came just outside that stump and came down in, and then it nosed in right there, and it kind of reared up and twisted and then lit. They said even as slow as he could go, he still probably hit the ground doing about 60. 10 feet, he would hit that stump, you know, or even less. I looked it up, the number on the computer, and found out that it was stolen at Idaho. I kind of guessed it ran out of gas, was my guess, but then as things went on, I found out that it wasn't out of gas.
So this kid was crashing planes worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, boats and planes. And not to mention he was given a hall pass for his first burglaries as he started in his immediate youth. So then, this is where he makes a turn at, you know, and it's biblical. As the Most High said in the story of Jacob and Esau, one shall be stronger than the other. Well, Esau here decides to fly into the islands, the Bahamas, where the Israelites are. So let's see how this ends.
Authorities are left days behind. 2,000 miles, 9 states, nearly a dozen stolen cars. Colton finally finds his plane in Bloomington, Indiana. He camps in a nearby patch of woods and watches, waiting for just the right moment.
Barefoot bandit might be basking in the Bahamas.
Investigators say a stolen plane from Indiana crash-landed off the coast of one of the islands yesterday.
The FBI's got agents down in the Bahamas working with local police there to try and catch Harris Moore.
There's now a $10,000 reward for information that leads to his arrest.
Found that the door was broken into, 2 Gatorades, 2 sodas, about 3 chips, broken McCaff straw. Also, the police found that a lady's house was broken into and her vehicle was stolen. sure nothing happened the previous night. I noticed that all the cameras in the downstairs area have been turned towards the wall.
That's right. This boy ain't even no shoes. Tiptoe around and people in the living room in the night time. Washing their clothes. Watch it now.
I looked around, there was nothing missing, nothing really damaged except for the doorway which had been wedged open with a crowbar or some other tool. The night that he broke into our place, he stole a boat and drove us both down to Eleuthera. This guy came in on a boat and all of us was looking to see who he was.
This kid in this 13-foot Boston wheeler comes in full speed, spun it like it was a jet ski.
When he came close, he's like, he's the Barefoot bandit. I'm Colton Harris Moore. I played dumb. I was like, I don't know who the Barefoot bandit is, because they were giving a big reward, so I wanted him to come in so I could catch him. And he kept saying repeatedly, call the cops for me, man, or call the boats or something. I want to have some fun. Call the FBI, call the chopper.
He's like, well, I want to get chased, I'm bored. I was like, what this kid into? We're calling some of our buddies that has a boat. He's like, 13-foot Boston wheeler. If you guys coming over, you might see him. Colton Harris Moore was like, why your buddy on the phone? I'm out of here. I don't want to talk anymore. And then he took off.
I got a phone call that we saw this white guy saying that he's Colton Harris Moore. I jump in my boat, me and like 11, 12 of my friends. They keep telling me, let's go, it's a reward, there's a reward. I saw this little skiff with this white boy in the boat, and he was like smiling. And he took off with speed, I took off with speed. Chased him up and down the harbor, up and down, up and down. Driving boat just about all my life. I've been to captain's school, I have captain's license. But to him, he look like he have some good skills. To put that move on me, that's unbelievable now. Midnight. Midnight. There was a boat coming in from the southern end here, and they were screaming outside in the area. They were screaming, chasing him. He had them like over 200 yards, but they thought he ran down that way. But by that time, he was already here, and I'm watching the speed he's coming with. White guy, white people run, I thought you're in trouble, you see? He ran right into me, right in as I saw. So I said, what's up? So he trying to kill me. I said, who's trying to kill you? He spin around here, he grabbed these bush, he break these down, and just headed straight out into the property. I ran behind him. I was 50 yards behind him.
and I called a detective called Hart. The police pull him. I said, he's right in the bush here. I said, what we need to do is quarantine this whole property. So he had to just sit quietly. We didn't hear nothing.
I got word that this individual was on the grounds. I realized that, oh boy, this is it. We need to go for the big one. We need to go for the catch. Rally all of the troops, the on-duty officers as well as the off-duty officers. We need to mount an operation.
Top flight. An operation.
We were all out that night.
Oh.
Turning around and throttling up on the boat, and at that point, Ronald told the officers, like, if you guys want to stop him, you know, it's going to happen soon, and you have to shut the engines. He said, he's taking off, he's taking off.
Cops could. They ended the run of the Barefoot Bandit.
And that goes to tell you, like I said, even with Esau and our people that's still stuck in this world, when the Most High puts our lost people up against these heathens by blood, their tactical warfare ain't gonna match our people's guerrilla warfare, as we have been trained in these streets already for bloodshed and loss. It's a common factor in our people, and it's going to show you just like that right there. Them brothers, if you heard what they were saying, they were like, he was trying to play dumb to one guy on the dock that he didn't know who the Barefoot Bandit was. He's trying to coax him in to catch that money for that reward, and they called everybody, you know. They were game to go after the prey. But this is just, like I said, I just wanted to share this with y'all. I didn't mean for it to be this long, but just another prime example of privilege, allowing someone to evade, elude, and just prosper in a criminal activity. I hope y'all enjoyed that, and if you get a chance, it's called the Barefoot Bandit. I might be able to put it in the link here so you can see that whole episode. But nevertheless, I just want to share that with you, Israel. All praise to the Most High. I'm just finishing driving and wanted to do that quick little video. It's time to eat and shower. Shalom.